Check yourself at all times. We are on it. Thank you to the Counting Crows for that intro music there. Here we go. Ron Futrell here with the latest version of the Vegas Sportscast for a busy Monday. Busy Monday. Weekend was sort of fun. Okay, a lot going on here. We got UNLV sports, both basketball and football going on right now. NFL, the latest with the Raiders down in Mexico, and, of course, Vegas Golden Knights and what they're doing right now in their record-breaking inaugural season. Okay, so let's start out with the Knights and what they've got. Nice game yesterday against the LA Kings. Okay, this was just an incredible performance. They go out and score 3 goals within the first 15 minutes in that game and run Jonathan Quick out of the game, by the way. One of the best goalies, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, run him out of the game because they were bad goals he gave up. I mean, it was crazy. It was not Jonathan Quick. So he's struggled the last few games, actually, and that game was indicative. Maybe he had the Vegas flu. Okay, that's starting to be a thing around the NHL right now. People are talking about teams coming into Vegas, partying too hard the night before, and not being ready for the game the following night. Well, it's true or not, hey, the Vegas Golden Knights have a great record at home. They are now 12-6-1 on the season, and in second place behind those Kings in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now, in the Western Division, and it's too early to start talking about playoffs. But this note I do want to make here, of the teams that are Stanley Cup eligible by Thanksgiving, 78% of the time they make the Stanley Cup playoffs. So there you go. So Vegas Golden Knights certainly are Stanley Cup eligible right now with the second best record in the Western Conference right now. It's just having a great season. Okay, next up for the Golden Knights, they play at Anaheim on Wednesday, then the San Jose Sharks here on Friday. 3 o'clock start for that Friday game. So as you plan your week out, that's what the Knights have going on this week. William Karlsson, a couple of goals. Just been phenomenal what he has been able to do for the Vegas Golden Knights. This is a guy that scored 6 goals for Columbus all of last year. 6 goals. Has 9 goals already for the Vegas Golden Knights, and we're not even a fourth of the way through the season. He is having a career season right now, certainly career season. Wild Bill is his nickname. So Wild Bill, William Karlsson, is doing the job. Cody Eakin scored a goal as well, so he's going to get a hat trick one of these days, Karlsson. Twice he scored 2 goals at games here at T-Mobile Arena. So that's waiting. That one is next up, okay, for the Vegas Golden Knights to have something like that happen. And Max Legace started in the nets, did very well, stopped the Kings, was able to win that game. So congratulations to him. Malcolm Subban is now active, and he will step in at some point. But as long as Max Legace continues to win games and do well, see what happens at Anaheim. Again, next up, Wednesday evening, a game at Anaheim. Okay. Rebel football, Rebel basketball. Let's start out with basketball. First, Rebels take on Rice tonight at T-Mobile Arena. Rebels 16.5-point favorites against the Rice Owls out of Houston. So Rice, not a very good team, but at least we know who Rice is. Okay, Rebels are 3-0 right now, beating teams. Weren't all that good, but that's what you do this time of season. Is you take on those sort of teams. You build your team, but the Rebels are looking good. They are 3-0, and they just watching them play, see how they look. They do look pretty good. Have yet to go on the road yet, and they have these holiday tournaments here now. So a lot going on with that, and that's good. Glad to see that with Marvin Menzies and what's happening with the Rebels. Rebel football. Now they've got a date with Reno on Saturday, 12 noon, Mackey Stadium up in Reno. Reno 2.5-point favorites against the Rebel football team. And for Tony Sanchez and his squad, this is very simple. All they got to do is just win. Okay? How about that? Win and they go to a bowl game. They're 5-6 right now. And this would be Tony Sanchez's first bowl appearance as his third year as Rebel coach. So that's their goal. Simple as that. But Reno's having a horrible season. Reno's just having an awful season this year by their standards. So the scary thing is they're dangerous, especially there. Crazy things happen. Oh, did I mention some of the voodoo stuff? I mentioned some of the crazy voodoo stuff and things. Oh, can happen up there in Mackey Stadium. Okay, it is not a great place for opponents to play. Safe place certainly for UNLV. Oh, it's the battle for the Fremont Cannon. We know that. But this one is the battle for the bowl game for UNLV. And Reno would like nothing more than to shut the Rebels down and stop them from going to a bowl game. So, Saturday, 12 noon, Rebels at Reno. Fremont Cannon on the line, and also going to a bowl game. Fremont Cannon, I should give that story a little bit later this week. Right now, it's a replica of the cannon that John C. Fremont used when he came out west here, but there's a little bit more with John C. Fremont we'll give a little bit later this week on the Vegas Sportscast. NFL stuff going on. Let's see, tonight Atlanta is at Seattle. Seattle is -2.5 in that game. They blew up the Georgia Dome this morning. The old Georgia Dome from 93 to 2017 was 2 Super Bowls, 3 Final Fours, and a bunch of other stuff. The Peach Bowl was there at that stadium. Now they have Mercedes-Benz Stadium with that funny-looking roof that has the like kaleidoscope-looking opening. Okay, and it works. They like it. It's working pretty well down there in Atlanta. So they got their new stadium all built, of course, first season for the Falcons in that stadium. There'll be a Super Bowl there before too long, another one. But they blowed that thing up today. So Atlanta playing at Seattle tonight in the NFL. Raiders just looked miserable. 33-8 down in Mexico. Just was an awful game for them. Marshawn Lynch sat during the U.S. national anthem, stood during the Mexican national anthem. Creating a little bit of a stir with that, of course. But what's interesting is the NFL is now not showing the anthems as much because they know the damage it's doing to their league. In some people's minds, maybe irreparable. But they know the damage that it's being done. They see it in the stands. They see it in all sorts of areas. They see it in ticket sales. They see it in TV ratings. And they just don't show it. Now the networks just don't show it. But that's what he did. Obviously has the right to do it. It's not a First Amendment issue here with this one. But it is sort of, some of the players did the same thing over in London. Stood for God Save the Queen, but sat for the U.S. national anthem. I love standing for the Mexican national anthem, by the way, and for God Save the Queen, and for O Canada when that's played. So I love, but the contrast there is obvious there with Marshawn Lynch. But the Raiders, he played horribly. The Raiders played horribly. Just receivers dropping passes. They still have not picked off a pass. Now 10 games into the season, the Raiders are 4-6. Raiders are 4-6. 10 games into the season, their secondary still has not intercepted a pass. That's an NFL record right there. A dubious NFL record. Rams looked horrible in their loss yesterday. They lost to Houston, and skip that. They lost at Minnesota. Sorry, Houston was the week before. They lost at Minnesota yesterday, scored 1 touchdown the first series of the game, and that was it for them. Todd Gurley rushed that one over, but 24-7 losing at Minnesota. And that's one of the top teams in the NFC. So that's a team that you got to beat if you're the LA Rams at some point. Now 7-3 on the season. The Rams also in the NFC. And they do play later this season. They play Philadelphia. And the Eagles are the class right now of the NFC. The Raiders, check that. The Patriots, the class right now of the AFC, of course. But Philadelphia with Carson Wentz, they won again yesterday, so they're doing a phenomenal job right now with their sophomore quarterback. And forever, Carson Wentz and Jared Goff will be compared because they went number 1, Jared Goff number 1, Wentz number 2 in last season's NFL draft. So their careers will be in tandem forever. And both guys are having great seasons this year. Goff, not so much his first year, but both guys are having great seasons and are leading their teams in the NFC, and we're going to see that for a long time, I believe, from these two quarterbacks. So that's it. I said a busy Monday. That's the latest we've got for you right there. Let's see. I'm Ron Futrell. I want to tell you again, let people know. Spread the word. Vegas Sportscast. We're going to be doing, I keep saying we're going to be doing another one with Bill O'Donnell, but we're going to get together and do the long-form one. Maybe not before Thanksgiving because the holidays are sort of busy, but I got the gear all set up, ready to roll. We need to do that more often, but these daily short ones, hope you're enjoying those. And let's see, like I said, tell a friend, let people know about the Vegas Sportscast, the number one podcast for sports in Las Vegas. And You can find us on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, Google Play, on our website, thevegassportscast.com, and our Twitter page, which is Vegas Sportscast. So, with that, hope you all have yourself a nice Monday out there. Get ready for Thanksgiving this week, all right? Should be a fun one this week. Getting ready for Thanksgiving. Again, Counting Crow is going to leave us out of this. And have yourself a good Monday. Rebels tonight against Rice out at T-Mobile Arena, the location for that. They were putting down the boards quickly yesterday to get ready for hoops there. So that's it. That's the way I see it. I'm Ron Futrell. Thanks for listening. Bye for now, everybody.